Congratulations, you broke the record. Let me ask. I asked Paul this a moment ago. What other records have you broken?
I just broke Destroyer, one of our records. I threw it on the ground and the record broke.
You broke Wind.
Broke Wind, that's another record. Look, it's a thrill because we, cornball as it sounds, we actually think this is going to be good for planet Earth, that people are no longer going to be separated by language. And it's pretty arrogant for Americans to think that English is the only language they should speak and communicate in. Finally, a tool that unlocks all the hurdles and all the differences between the languages. Ortsbo.com. It's good for people.
So how have you used Ortsbo so far to sort of improve your communication?
Well, I'm in touch with a lot of people around the world, either on business or social levels. And for me, it's the quickest way to have immediate access, especially when there's a language barrier. There are people who you love to communicate with or that you feel a kinship with, and yet the language gets in the way. Here's a way that word for word, you can have instant translations. So the gist isn't lost. Often when we try to paraphrase in other languages, something about it is lost. Here's the perfect way to transcend that, get around it. It's great for business when I'm trying to make business deals, do orders, talk to factories in Korea. Well, when you're trying to speak language, you always hear someone say, I didn't know that's what you meant. Well, when you use Ortsbo and you go to ortsbo.com, here's a free service whereby something is instantaneously translated. As I said before, technology has always been the source of making the world smaller. There's always been, whether it's television or telephones, transportation, always makes it a much user-friendly world. However, with Ortsbo, you break the last barrier, and that last barrier is language. With the language barrier gone, all bets are off. Anything can happen.
You know, I asked this question to Paul about a lost in translation moment. Have you ever had a situation prior to Ortsbo where you said something and it was mistranslated because of language barrier?
Yes. I tried speaking to somebody in Hungarian, which I speak fluently, and they were American, but they only spoke halting Hungarian. And I said, "Adj nekem egy pussy." And she thought I said a bad word, but pussy in Hungarian means kiss. Give me a little kiss. She didn't speak Hungarian. See, if she had Ortsbo, she would understand.
And now, actually, all the opinions you have, actually, when I was listening to you talk with CNBC, you really have an opinion on every subject. So now the world really can hear all those opinions.
Oh, I've always farted through my oral passage. I've always said what I believe, and everybody on planet Earth agrees secretly.
Secretly with you, they're not saying that they agree with you?
Of course. Death to pedophiles. Oh, no, they should be rehabilitated. Really? I'll arrange for a pedophile to go and molest your child and see how you feel about that. No, everybody agrees intrinsically if it affects them. So you have to assume the world is you, and whatever affects you is how the world is.
Excellent. Hey guys, what's next on your plate? You've done this. How are you going to essentially adapt the technology in your work in the future?
We're literally in the studio this afternoon working on the latest album, latest Kiss album. For us to be able to publicize it really in real time, we go on Ortsbo. Around the world, we can go to some of the KISS Army members and the outlets that we have for our news around the world, real time. Type it in English, it'll come out in Algeria, it will come out in Australia, it will come out in Africa, you name it. There's no limits at this point. We can make what's happening here in real time available to everybody around the world. It is the new telephone.
You can literally take out your handheld device, little pregnant pause so you can see the image.
Oh, I see that image.
And you're walking down the streets and you want to chat with somebody, it can be with anybody in the world in their language. It's an incredible tool.
Excellent, guys. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to talk to me.